In this video I'm going to create walls, roof, windows and doors, fences and the floor finish on the construction for the bamboo house. So I'm starting to build plywood panels, copying them along the longer side, and I'm just going to mirror them on the other side like this. Now I'm going to copy them to close this part that is slanted, and also mirror it on the other side. Here. Now I'm going to do the panels of the roof so I can have the base for metal finish on the roof. I'm just going to rotate them horizontally. And rotate according to the roof. Like this. And again, copy along the roof. But first I'm going to move it to overhang a bit over the construction. And now I'm going to copy it to the end of the house. I'm going to use intersect to cut these panels to the correct dimension. And once I did that, I need to cut the upper part that is sticking out. I'm just going to make some shape to cut from the upper part. Like this. And now I'm going to copy those. And again, intersect these two. So I have the roof base. I'll need to add 2 columns so I can put the panels in front and the back. So I'm just going to separate these solids and use one of these, this one. And I'm going to place it in the middle here and erase everything else I don't need. So I isolated the bamboo layer so I can easily cut it off where I need to. And to mirror it on the other side of the house also. I'm going to turn the layers on, and I'm going to the front of the house now. So I'm putting these horizontally and move them so they lean on the bamboo construction underneath. And I'm going to create a space for the door. So I'm just going to copy it until I reach the roof. And of course I'll need to cut it off once I copy this. So I'm cutting these solids, and afterwards I'm going to erase the parts I don't need. Using solid edit to detach these two parts. Even though I cut them, they are still one solid, so I need to make them two solids so I can erase one part and keep the other one that I need. Okay, I'm just going to put it to the correct layer and move this section here. And I'm going to mirror it on the other side and on the front or the back of the house. So now I'm going to continue to make the window above the door here, and again using intersect to cut it to the correct size, also copying this one to create the space for the window, and this one here, and I just need one more in the upper part. So once more I need to cut these so they fit to the roof. I'm just going to draw polyline around it and extrude this object I'm going to use to cut the panels. And now I'm going to subtract from these parts, and I have the panels following the roof angle. Next step is copying this to the other side as well. Actually moving in, because I'm going to make here a fence for a terrace. I'm just going to copy these for the terrace fence. So they are 5 inches apart. And now I'm going to add the horizontal part of the fence. And I'm going to use a push-pull option to extend this one to the other side here. Next step would be to create windows. Now I'm just going to make some layers I need to use for the windows, such as window frame and glass, and give them the appropriate colors. And now I'm going to draw a frame for the window. Here. And I'm going to move it to the side so I can draw it easier. And these are sliding doors, glass sliding doors, and this is the frame for the window. And I'm just going to copy it as well and offset. And of course extrude. Cutting it with subtract, and here's my window frame, and now I'm creating the glass. Here's the glass, and I'm just going to put it to the correct layer. And place it on the house here. I'm also going to copy it here, but since I have this construction detail here, I'm going to make 2 windows here using the same style. I'm going to draw polyline here and create 2 windows. So extruding, cutting through the extruded window frame and drawing the glass, extruding the glass, and putting it to the correct layer and place, and I'm going to copy one more next to it. I'm going to delete this one. So I have the windows on both sides, and now I need to create the door the same way I did for the windows. So again, cutting the frame, and making the glass. And copying this one, and I'm just going to move it here because this is sliding door, and placing on the house, and also copying to the other side, the front of the house. I'm just going to put this to bamboo layer, and what I have left is the plywood, and I need to create the floor, wooden floor here. So I'm just going to use another layer so I can isolate it and see what I'm doing with the floor. So I'm going to turn off the plywood of the walls and the roof. And I'm going to model the floor. I'm going to round the edges a bit using a fillet option. And simply copy it until I get to the end of the house on the other side. Same thing again, I'm going to intersect these two to cut it. And I'm going to union these so I can copy them easily. And now I'm going to copy them to the end of the house on the other side. Like this. And I'm going to erase the last one, and here's the floor. I copied this one so I can use it for the upper floor. And now I'm going to move it I just need to cut off the part I don't need upstairs. I'm also going to intersect these and to cut the floor to this length as I did with plywood. So I'm just going to select all of these and cut here, and I'm going to move it to the upper floor like this. I'm just going to use move and select my last selection, and also cut these parts on the side because lower floor is a bit wider as well because of the roof angle. So I'm using push-pull again to make these plywood pieces shorter. Here on the other side also. And now I'm working on making a roof finish, which is metal. I'm also going to round the edges a little bit. And I'm also going to copy it along the roof. So I'm going to delete this part and make this one fit the roof length. And I'm going to use union to make it one solid, so it is easier to copy it up. And I'm going to rotate it to the roof, but I forgot to change the UCS, so I'll do it now and rotate it to the roof like this. And I'm going to copy it to the top of the roof. Here. And I'm going to erase these last two because I don't need them, and to mirror roof finish on the other side of the house. Using something at the center, so I'm using the foundation. And now I'm going to create the edge of the roof, also made of metal, like a cap. And again, I'm going to place it here on the house and extrude. And I'm going to copy it along the rooftop to the end, and once more make this one shorter. So there it is. The roof is done.